If you're the kind of hunter or shooter who wants a system that actually works in the field, something you can set up, rely on night after night, and feel good about the money you spent, then you've probably been scrolling through a sea of thermal options that sound great on paper but leave you wondering if they'll survive a real hunt. The biggest hesitation most of us feel is the fear of ending up with a gadget that looks impressive in the specs sheet but turns out to be a pain to mount, a nightmare to power, or just a gimmick you never actually use. That's why I'm going to walk through the Burris Optics thermal kit the way I would if I were buying it for my own weekend outings, and point out exactly where it earns its keep and where it might leave you shortchanged. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about what this kit actually gives you. It's not just a single thermal scope. You get the BTC35 V2 thermal imaging clip-in, a lightweight RT33 red dot sight, and the necessary Picatinny rings to mount everything on a standard rifle. The idea is simple. You have a dedicated thermal eye for low light or zero light scenarios, and a quick acquire red for daytime or bright light shooting, all on the same platform. For anyone who's been frustrated by having to swap out optics in the middle of a hunt, that sounds like a practical solution. Who should consider this bundle? If you're already comfortable with a standard RifleScope and you find yourself hunting in varied light conditions, think deer in the early morning fog, hogs at dusk, or coyotes on a moonless night, then the flexibility of a clip-in thermal plus a red dot covers the whole spectrum without having to carry multiple rifles. The kit also makes sense for tactical shooters who need a thermal overlay for night operations but still want a fast target acquisition tool for daytime drills. Because the thermal unit clips onto an existing scope rather than replacing it, you don't have to sacrifice the familiar eye relief or reticle you already trust. On the flip side, if you only hunt in clear daylight and never venture beyond a few hundred yards, you're probably better off spending that money on a higher magnification day scope or a more premium thermal unit with better resolution. The clip-in design also means you need a base scope that can physically accommodate the attachment. Rifles with unusually low or unusually high rail profiles could run into fit issues. And if you're looking for a pure, high-end thermal solution that can double as a standalone rifle sight, you'll find the BTC35 V2's 3 magnification a bit limiting compared to dedicated thermal rifle scopes that push 5 or 10. Now let's get into the practical strengths. The BTC35 V2's OLED screen delivers a clear, color-rich picture in a 102:4768 resolution, which is a noticeable step up from the grayscale thermal units that dominate the entry-level market. The 5 color palettes white hot, black hot, red hot, green hot, and blue hot let you fine-tune the image to the environment. In a dense pine stand where the temperature differentials are subtle, switching to a blue hot palette can make a moving animal stand out against the foliage much more clearly than a standard white hot view. The real-time video streaming and photo capture feature is a nice touch if you want to record a quick video for a training session or capture a thermal shot for later analysis, though the system isn't built for prolonged video work. Battery life is another real-world factor. The kit runs off standard AA cells, which is convenient for most hunters who already carry spares. In my testing, a fresh pair of alkaline cells gave me about 6 hours of continuous use, which comfortably covers a full day in the field plus some extra for a night drive home. That said, if you're planning a multi-day outing where recharging isn't an option, you'll want to stock up on high-capacity lithium batteries to avoid the dreaded dead screen moment right when a buck steps into the clearing. Mounting the thermal clip-in is surprisingly straightforward. The included Picatinny rings are of the Weaver style, meaning they fit the vast majority of rifles with standard rails. The small footprint of the RT3 Red also means the whole package stays low profile, which helps maintain a balanced feel in the rifle's forward hand. In practice, I've found that once the kit is zeroed, you can switch from the red to the thermal view with a flick of a button without losing your cheek weld or having to readjust the rifle's position. That kind of seamless transition is what makes the kit feel like a single, integrated system rather than a patchwork of add-ons. There are some trade-offs worth mentioning. The thermal sensor is a 400,300 VOX, video-optimized, unit, which is adequate for spotting medium-sized game at a few hundred yards, but it won't give you the crisp detail of a 640480 sensor you might find on a higher-priced model. In a scenario where